it's okay. It's okay. So I already kind of went over this with my chat, but obviously there are sensitive topics that we're going to be discussing tonight.
We're not going to be showing any pictures, guys. Just so y'all know, the pictures are what got our account banned.
Yeah.
They're still in the process of working on the getting it back, but we are not going to show pictures tonight. But we are going to answer questions, talk about everything, and all that good fun stuff again.
Yeah. Are your comments off?
No. Not yet, but I can't. I was thinking about turning them off because this one, and like me, I'll get triggered if I start reading shit.
This is my real hair.
So I don't like. Sometimes it's easier for me to turn shit off and keep my squirrels from chasing shit.
I was thinking of keeping them on. I already told my mods any doxing, any name calling, just overall like bullying.
I don't want to turn them off.
See?
Yeah. So okay, they know to block all that. But I don't know, freedom of speech, right? Like opinions are opinions, but at the same time, if you're bullying somebody or doxing somebody, then it's something that's up. So
I've got my mods in here. If y'all guys get, if you guys start the negativity, they're gonna block. Straight up.
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. I don't none of that stuff. If you guys get negative, you're out. The Lando team, all of Becky and Robin,
okay,
and D, all of the Lando people, guys. Actually, the whole chat. I'm going to ask you guys not to engage with the negativity. We're not going to. This is not a measuring contest to see who's bigger or better. You know, we had accusations.
Don't. It's okay. It's okay.
The best thing to do, guys, is just sit back, watch,
and don't engage.
Leanne, you was a moderator too. You were here. You quitted as a moderator. Why'd you quit? What the fuck? I didn't even know you were a moderator.
Put her back on then.
Where'd she go?
Put her back on.
Anyways, guys, this is she said no. The biggest thing, guys, this is not basically just listen. That's the best thing.
Can you just let her do what she does?
Yeah.
I think we should just let her do what she does best.
Well, I'm trying to.
He just got home from work. It's okay.
Yeah, I haven't even had time to decompress yet.
See, I'm grounded. It's all good.
I walked through the door, wiped a monkey's ass, threw it in his put it in his cage, and fed a bottle to another one, and put her in her bed, and here I am.
All right. Well,
guys, hang on, Sarah. Guys, this is the wrong Sarah. This is not J-Hop Sarah.
Yeah. No, I'm not. That's not me. Yeah.
Just clear the air now. Everybody's saying that. It's not.
I am serotonin. I've never met J-Hop in person. I have talked to him maybe a total of 3 times on this app. So that is that.
God, back to your ball game.
Okay. So I do want to start off just by kind of going over. So you guys have 13 monkeys in your care right now. You follow every USDA guideline that is required of you regarding housing primates. Just discuss a little bit about what all goes into that. Money is obviously a factor, but it's not the only thing that you need to house primates and effectively take care of them. So just go into all of what it takes for you guys to do.
So USDA is actually administrative. They regulate you administratively. So if it's not in the handbook, they legally cannot give you a citation for something that is not in the handbook. we have continually over the past 3 years not only had amazing growth within our troops, but we have grown right along with that. That's terrible. Through care, diet, medical care, knowledge, enclosure size, spacing, enrichment, all of the things for these monkeys. We've upgraded across the board every single thing that we have from, what is that? What is that noise? From sleep enclosures to travel enclosures in our vehicle, play cages, outdoor enclosures, playhouse. We have continually had amazing growth. What goes into primate care, you have to learn every day. You have to educate yourself every day. You have to, especially for me, coming from private ownership to actually taking intakes in owner surrender primates, I've had to learn a lot. I have had to learn a lot. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. Am I learning every day? If I come across an issue, do I have mentors with a plethora of knowledge to help me? Absolutely. I have people that help me that have had 30, 40 years of experience with all different kinds of primates. I have 2 veterinarians. What else do I need to talk about here? I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have primate husbandry, you know, clean enclosures, food prep, people in your home that are willing to help. You know, I've got Greg, we have friends who come and help. I have friends who fly in to come and help. I did have a couple of volunteers. That will never happen again. Oh gosh, just all the things. What are you doing?
Nothing. Just keep going.
I don't know what that was. Anyways.
Yeah. If you had enough money to buy a monkey, would you recommend it?
No, absolutely not. I may have been all for that when I purchased our monkeys, but as like our lifestyle has shifted over to like watching the heartache that comes with watching people have to let their babies go and how hard I have to work every single day. I tell my chat that all the time. If me now would have told like 3 years ago me that I was going to have all these monkeys and be helping monkeys and my house was going to have enclosures and, you know, stuff piled up on my island or plethora of fruit and vegetables on my counter, I'd be like, no, you lost your mind. I would never do that. I would never do that. But, you know, the need is there. There are so many, you know, Rayanna Sanchez, go hop over and say hi. She's one of our monkeys' moms. Like she, you know, I give them full access to their monkeys. They can come see them anytime they want. They are privy to medical information. If one of my monkeys is sick, I let them know, like, hey, so it's because Rayanna, for example, she didn't lose her monkey. She gained all of the monkeys and she can come here whenever she wants. She can love on them. She can spend time with them. Like they're her babies too. And I have worked really hard to build that troop with the previous owners of the monkeys that are in our care. So
yeah. So a lot more goes into it than just the financial aspect.
Absolutely. You know, if you wanted to compare financial versus emotion is here, financial is way down here because it is a lot. There's a lot that I do. There's a lot that goes on. You know, people think that they're bashing me right now because there's information that I did not share. If I have a monkey that's sick, or if I have a monkey that has passed away, if I have a monkey that had whatever, it is my choice to share that information. I don't owe that to anybody. Details or a broken leg or a like head trauma, like those are my things to choose to share or not to share.
So,
I don't know.
Okay, this is definitely not a fair comparison, but like monkey care, how synonymous or how close to like raising a child or like a baby or
nowhere. They're not even there's no comparison.
Is there any comparison that you can give to just like the layperson that doesn't really understand what all goes into this?
There is no comparison. I remember when we had our first 2 capuchins, Loxley and Oliver, And I remember when they were little babies and people would say, is it like having a baby? And I remember saying, like, it is, because they were little and you just got to hold them and love on them and, you know, feed them a bottle and change their diaper. And then just like that, you have a wild animal in your possession. And if you haven't built a foundation for them, Rayanna can attest to that. You have to work with them. You know, Rayanna got to the point where she was struggling with Glow. And I feel like a lot of that was because Glow wasn't with her own kind. She was a singleton. And the second that she came to our home, she was instantly a different monkey. And her mom came, I want to say, usually I ask them to just give a little bit of time for the primate to settle in. But I think Rayanna came like 5 or so days after Glow came here full time. And she's like, that is not my monkey. What did you do to her? And she was just so happy to be with her own kind. Like, it is not.
I like that name, Peckerwood. He said, much respect to y'all. Thank you, Peckerwood.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the more recent situation that I think everybody wants to kind of understand, unpack a little bit.
Sure.
So let's just start from the beginning. When and why did J-Hop get Brutus in the first place? Is that what brought you all together? Is that how you guys met?
I watched J-Hop long before he had Brutus.
Thank you, Sabrina.
And I watched him. And as he when he got Brutus, somebody went in there and was telling him about us, and he stumbled across me watching one night while I was doing diapers.
Actually, it was Sarah. Sarah stumbled across Greg doing diapers, and her and Josh sat down and watched the whole fiasco.
They watched it live, and so he laughed about it and all that. Well, then one day we were on an event, a hot air balloon event in up around Kerrville, Texas, up around there. And we were on live. We live streamed that whole event, and J-Hop came in. And when I seen his badge come across the screen, I was shocked, because like, he's a big time creator, and I'm like, dude, holy shit, wow, you know. And there's you know, all that. So we started talking and communicating, and then I reached out to him. He reached out. And I reached out to him, and then I told him, I said, hey, here's my wife's number. She used to have a marmoset. She knows a lot about the marmosets. She can help you do a lot. There's a lot of things that we can do, or she can help you with. And she said, okay. Or he said, okay. So then they started communicating and talking about that.
Wait, so you reached out to him first, or he reached out to you about potentially?
No, I reached out to him.
Okay.
I told him, they were telling me that he had a marmoset, and I reached out to him, and I told him, I said, hey, here's my wife's number. Reach out to her if you have any questions about marmosets, all this. She can help you with it. I said she loves them, all that fun stuff, right? And so he did, and you know, they communicated, and of course we started building, you know, the relationship that we had. I thought we had a great relationship. There was. You know, we had a lot of laughing, cutting up, good times, all this. Well, then when I got the phone call that night that Brutus had passed, when I got that phone call, or actually I guess I'd gotten it that morning. Sarah called me that morning.
Well, hold on. So don't skip all that. So, okay, so he didn't have Brutus at that point when you guys first started talking?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when we started talking.
Brutus is his first primate.
And he did have Brutus already.
Brutus was a marmoset.
We found out he had Brutus. I don't know how long he'd had Brutus, but like I said, I watched him battle and stuff like that, and I never saw Brutus. Okay. But at some point he got Brutus. I don't know exactly. Like I said, we're not worried about the days of when he got Brutus, right? He had Brutus, and that's what started our relationship.
And did you meet him before that phone call that day?
No, I'd never met him in person. I'd never done any of that. And what had happened, Sarah called me that morning. I was in West Texas working. I was on my way home that weekend. It was for a weekend. It was on a Friday. And she told me what happened, and I instantly picked up the phone and started texting Josh, hey, man, are you okay? Are you this? Are you that? Blah, 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 blah. Checking on him, you know, just as, you know, the thing about Josh, you know, even still to this day, I worry about his mental health and what this is he to me will be a brother for life because he is a firefighter EMT. He was in the military. I got a lot of respect for the people that serve our country, that handle, that fight for our freedom to be here, to be able to have these conversations. What we did yesterday, what we had to do yesterday was hard. It really was. But to be called out, to have all the things said that was said, you have to cross hard bridges at some time. So
I did choose to take the high road until I received screenshots that my well-being was being threatened, which
ended up being a mistake. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways,
yeah.
Long story short, back to meeting him. So we never met him. We just talked to him on the phone several times. He sent some big gifts.
When he called you that day, that was just a phone call, and that was like
Sarah called him and Josh FaceTimed me at like 5:30 in the morning, and I just like grabbed my phone and answered, and he was screaming hysterically that the monkey was gone, and he was actually holding the monkey in his hand, and I was asleep, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
Wow.
You don't.
The bond that you build, with monkeys is by far stronger than any bond you'll ever build with any animal.
Bernice, you will be removed. I wasn't hiding anything. What I choose to share on Open Live is my choice.
So then, with that, like I said, Sarah called me and told me what had happened. I was on my way home from West Texas. I could not get a hold of Josh. I could not get him on the phone. Sarah was worried. She'd been up with him. They'd been going through this together. She needed to take care of her animals. She had a lot of stuff going on. So I told her, I said, Sarah, look, I'm going to buy a plane ticket. I'm going to fly to Florida, and I'll be there tonight, and I'll be there. I'll be there. And she goes, well, I don't know if he'll like that. I don't give a shit. I didn't give him a choice.
We already had plans and scheduled for them to bring Brutus and come here for Christmas. We already had plans to have them here.
Yeah, we had already talked about that.
Did you both fly out there? Or
No,
just
no.
No, I have monkeys. I don't need to go anywhere.
I was gonna say who took care of the monkeys, but
yeah. So anyway, we jumped, or I jumped, and I bought a plane ticket. I called her. I said, hey, buy me a plane ticket in San Antonio. I'm coming through San Antonio here in a couple hours. I'll just swing by the airport, and I'll catch the next flight into Florida. And I flew into Florida. I didn't have clothes. I didn't have anything. I literally went to the store. I bought some pants. I bought some shirts. I bought some a toothbrush and deodorant and everything, just the necessities you need to travel with. And I had to go buy a bag just so I could have everything. And so I did all that, right? Grabbed all that, threw it all together, jumped on a plane, went down there. Well, I was sitting at the airport waiting on the plane, and Josh finally calls me. He's like, bro, you're not coming. Don't come down here. Don't come down here. I said, dude, it's too late. I'm sitting in the airport waiting on the plane. I said, if you don't want me at your house, that I understand. I respect that. I'll get a hotel room down the road from your house, and I'll be at the hotel. If you want to talk, you want to just hang out, whatever, no problem. I'll be there. I'll come over. I'll do that, and I'll go back. No, you're not staying at a hotel. Just here's my address. Stay at my house. Okay. Yeah. So I got there. I got there. Got an Uber. Sarah had lined me up an Uber. I got to the house. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I went to bed. Got up the next morning. I sat there in his house literally all day until late that evening before he finally come out of the room. And when he come out, we just connected. We loved on him. I loved on him. I held him. Not one time did we talk about TikTok. Not one time did I ask him about TikTok. Not one time did I ask him about going live. I didn't ask him.
So this was before Brutus.
This is when Brutus passed.
Say it again.
This is when Brutus passed.
Okay.
I showed up to support him because he was in a dark spot. Because
you were loving on Josh. Okay.
Yes.
I thought for a second.
Yes,
okay.
like just embracing your brother, holding your brother. As a firefighter, the thing about firefighters, we have a connection. Firefighters are always look out for each other. It's always been that way in that industry. It's just firefighters are family, and so I just instantly took him in as like a brother, and that's the way I felt of him. And we started building that relationship. Well, then, after we got through all of that, and we had some conversations about another monkey. Hey, do you want another monkey? Do you think you need another monkey? And he was on the fence. He was. I'm 100%. I will honestly say he was on the fence.
Yeah.
But then,
Guys, she is aware that there are 2 monkeys in question.
and then when he finally convinced himself, you know what? Yeah, I think another monkey will help ease the pain. I can work on that. I can go back, because once you have the love of a monkey, you don't understand what it's like, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what you like. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
With that,
Just don't go to her chat, you guys. Just don't go.
that's
over
why I was
there.
going to turn it off.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep interrupting and reading the chat. That's why I turned it off.
At that point, were you aware of how Brutus?
No.
No.
And like I said, that I wasn't aware of any of that. And what how he passed wasn't we wasn't worried about it.
He was sent off for a necropsy.
Yes.
And those results were never provided. I don't know, but that was even like they came so quickly here. None of that was ever followed up on.
So with that being the case, when Josh decided that, yes, we want to, I think another monkey would be great. He, at that point, I said, Brandy said, well, let me do some checking and see what she can find. And she found Orion Phoenix. She found him, and she was able to find that. With that being the case, Sarah decided at that point, hey, I'm going to get the mods together. We're going to raise the money behind and have all the money together. That way he doesn't have to come out of pocket for it.
That's really sweet.
Like we're going to raise the money so he has it.
Yeah, Sarah and his mods got together. I believe All Money's chat, and then a lot of LOX and Ollie people went into Sarah and his other mods went live separately. And I did go in a box, I think, once or twice, but they went live several times, and they raised the funding to get the new baby.
Yeah. So they raised that.
Really quickly, just to be clear, so we're still not 100% positive on how Brutus passed.
Correct. And
At that time, yes.
Let me
today.
preface because the person that monkey came from is a known no for buying primates from. Like, do not buy from this person. But Josh didn't know that. We didn't know Josh before he got the monkey. I would have never steered him in that direction to buy from the person that he bought from. That person is known to fake health certificates. That person is known to fake all kinds of documentation. And had I known him prior, I would have never supported him buying from that person. So that being said, based off of my knowledge, send the baby in for a necropsy. We were told that he woke up and the baby was dead in the enclosure.
Right.
So like I said, at that point, then they raised the money. They were able to get enough money together. Before I left, they had all the money together. They had the monkey lined up. I booked a flight out of there and come straight home. I got home, and then they came down. Was it right after Christmas? Either way, they come. It was supposed to be for Christmas. It ended up being after Christmas, I believe. So, anyways, long story short, they come down. He picked Brutus up on his way down and drove Orion. He picked Orion up at the time and come down, and that's when he brought him here. And that was when the conversation between him and my wife and Sarah happened on the couch, where they were talking about where he told him, he said, I rolled over in my sleep on that monkey and I found him underneath me.
When he was with you in person.
No. Yeah, in person he told us. Yes.
Okay.
But you have to understand, he had been probably harboring those hurt feelings for days, and not like it was an accident.
Yeah.
Was he under the influence of something? Yes. But he didn't do it on purpose. And when I
mean, I assume that he didn't as well, based on everything that you guys are saying. But we also, without the necropsy, is that how you say that?
Yeah, necropsy, yes.
Without that, we really still don't have
That's fair. That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah, you could say that. But like I said, coming out of his word, or coming basically off of what he said,
Yeah.
he's the one that said he rolled over in his sleep, and when he woke up, he found him underneath him
Yeah.
because he slept with Brutus.
Yeah.
Like I don't care whatever way people want to spin it when you're harboring that and you have
Right.
mental health issues and you're dealing with all of the things that people like Josh has to deal with, to have to unload that was probably a really impactful. I was empathetic because that's the kind of person that I am. Did I blame him? No, I absolutely did not. Things happen, people roll over on their human babies.
Yeah.
So he already had Phoenix. He was here for a few days. I was helping show him how to care for the new baby, giving them advice, sending them home with lots of supplies, helping them any way that I could. The enclosure that they actually took him home in was one that I gave him. I try to help people who have a primate to I care about the monkeys. I care about the primates. Like the devil himself could call me right now and I would help any way that I could. And if I can't, I will send you to someone who can. And I even told them, I said, please, please, please find somebody and make friends with somebody who has red-handed tamarins. I don't have enough knowledge, red-handed tamarin versus marmoset. I don't have enough knowledge. So I did encourage them. I did help them find primate pages. I did, encourage them to find other people in Florida that had monkeys of the same species. And I don't think it was too long, honestly, after that we were no longer friends with them. We both kind of just all parted ways. And
So was there a specific reason, or was it just kind of like tapered off relationship? Or?
No, I'm not going to get into extent details of it because what happens in our personal life outside of TikTok doesn't matter because there was some extra adult activities that we were visiting on and things went sideways a little bit, and so
there was never any type of all of these accusations did not exist.
Yeah, nothing ever happened.
Are you guys talking about the accusations that he made in the texts with videos and stuff? Or
Yes, yeah. The videos, the actual partaking in it, none of that actually went. None of that actually went down. Actually, I was one of the reasons that it went. I was accused of being a very boring, very, very straight vanilla person. I couldn't live that kind of lifestyle and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And long story short, Brandy said, you know what, I'm going to walk away from it. Well, then after all of the shit that went down between him and Sarah, me and him started talking again. And when I started talking to him again at that point, it was just strictly friendship at that point. We were checking on mental health, checking on this, checking on that. And, we started talking about it then. Well, then as things progressed, he went back to the inappropriateness again. And that's when my wife walked away again.
Yeah.
And
so when that happens,
there was and you don't have to go into any details, but there was a semi flirtation between you two as a couple and them two as a couple.
Similar to that, yeah.
And that potentially was one of the reasons why things might have.
No, that's not.
There was nothing that ever happened whatsoever. Basically, Josh was expecting me to go and be with him and Sarah, and Greg to I wasn't going to participate in anything like that whatsoever.
It's your life. So
Exactly. I have no problem.
Here's the situation. If I have another woman come to this house and they wanted to participate in that, that's nobody's business.
No, it's not.
If I had another man that came to this house and participated in that, it's nobody's business.
That's right.
Our platform is about the monkeys.
Right. Yes. I guess the only reason why it might be relevant is because when it comes to just different relationships and different relationship dynamics, it can shift why like people's motives for doing certain things.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely, and that's yeah, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, unmute Peckerwood. Unmute Peckerwood.
He's cool. He's actually
Yes,
cool.
unmute Peckerwood.
He's a little odd, but he's a cool guy for sure.
He can stay. Please unmute him.
Love him.
And you're right, Rayanna, and it's okay. Nothing adult-ish happened between me or Sarah. Like, I absolutely adore Sarah. This is heartbreaking to me because I adore Sarah so much. Her and I have had a lot of really deep conversations on a level of mental health and trying to support Josh. Josh is probably definitely not doing okay with this whole situation. And it makes me sad that all of this was even a whole thing based off of someone being jealous. This whole situation never needed to be brought up. Reason being is because the monkey is not worse off or better off by blasting Josh. The monkey is not.
So by somebody being jealous, are you referring to Lauren?
Yes.
Okay. So why do you think she was? What happened that made you think that she was jealous? Like, what did she say? What did she do? What were the
the history with Lauren? So Lauren got a hold of me in my chat because she got a hold of us through the chat about coming and visiting and staying. So she came once or twice, or I know twice for sure that she said, "Hey, I want to pay to come and stay." Well, then while she was here, she built a relationship with her. They started hanging out. They started doing this. They started doing that. She got offended because I said something about coming home to loud, bratty ass kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because she has two twins and another girl, another daughter, and like I said, I don't have a problem with her kids. I loved her kids to death. Like, I fed them the whole time I was here. I'd cook for them. I'd feed them. I'd make sure they had good, food to eat. All the different things. Matter of fact, the night that she's talking about, when I said what I said, her ass was sitting on the fucking back porch playing with monkeys, wasn't even worried about her fucking kids. Her kids were running around my house.
And they always did, and I didn't have a problem with that. I love her kids. I miss her kids. They're wild little toddlers, and
yeah, they're I don't even know how old they are, 4 or 5.
They're 4.
But at the end of the day, like, they're toddlers. That's what they do. Like, I don't care.
I could sit here and bash and complain because they spilled food everywhere, or they made a mess, or they, why?
I literally just had my grandkids here, and they were loud, bratty ass, screaming kids, just like all the other kids.
Maybe it was a clash.
My daughter's not going to cry about that.
It was a clash between you and her kind of
that's what started, and then she then she got to the point where it just continued. She got caught up in Reddit because they were making fun of her mustache. She's got a mustache, and you know what? Who gives a fuck? It's a woman. It's got a mustache. I'm sorry, you got a mustache. Go wax the motherfucker. Like,
stop.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. She got caught up in Reddit. She kept reading Reddit. She kept doing this. She kept doing that. And then she started talking shit to my wife about her husband, and
I did. I absolutely complain about my husband. He's a pain in the ass. We all know that all day, every day, but he's still my husband. So she,
so that was the first, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what a good analogy is.
Yeah, for sure.
The first issue, whatever.
But you have to remember, for her to be so triggered by that. But then on the flip side, she was at a birthday party at another monkey parent's house, and there was an elderly woman there that was being very ugly face to face to her children, but that was okay. But Greg said her kids were he didn't want to come home to bratty screaming kids, but her kids were nowhere around. So make sense.
She felt triggered from him for one reason or another,
but not triggered by the old lady. It's weird.
You never know people's backgrounds. Maybe she has like a thing about men. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I said, like Greg's personality and her personality clashed. I don't know. but
They're actually exactly the same personality, to be
Yeah.
honest.
which sometimes is clashing. Trust me, me and my mom could tell you all about that. But
And like I said, like I would give her shit all the time,
Yeah.
but I was very thankful that she would come and hang out and do the things she did. I was very thankful that she was here.
yeah,
It seemed like there for a while she was here every fucking weekend, and I'm like, God damn, does this woman not have her own husband and everything to fucking do at her house? But that was just me talking shit. Like I didn't really care, right? Like I was thankful that she came. I was thankful that she did the things she did,
yeah.
and at the end of the day, like I thought she had a good friendship, but obviously there was more to it than that.
So
And,
you guys
and
don't even know why she kind of turned
I-
to.
Well, I will say we were in a group text message. There was, I think, 6 of us in there, and I was having a really rough time. Greg had a really emotional setback because our snarkers came in and mass reported him for the volunteer fire department. He was asked to step down, and it was just a whole emotional vibe in our home. I was quiet. I didn't go live. I literally logged off my live actually, and I didn't go live. I removed myself from that group text message, but obviously neither of them saw that. And then she did like obsessively call and text me like, what the fuck? What's going on? Why aren't you answering? And I literally said, like, there's a screenshot where I said, guys, I'm not in the right headspace. I just need some time or something like that. If you're my friend, you should respect that. And then there were some text messages that I left the group message and I was ready to walk away from the 2 friendships silently, quietly, slowly.
Yeah.
And that wasn't okay by her. So then I didn't communicate. I have a lot of like FaceTimes and phone calls that transpired that I ignored. And then they chose to go to said group message and send some shitty text messages towards me that I wasn't even in there anymore. They didn't even realize that I had already left. So, and now it's a whole thing that they walked away from the friendship first because I have terrible morals. But here we are bashing me for 7 consecutive days.
Oh, what
I
a
don't get it.
shame. What a
It
shame.
is. It is.
It sounds like it's like what, like just spiraled from
Yes,
from,
absolutely.
from nothing. That's such a miscommunication, and that sucks. That sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry about that.
If you claim that you love, I would never do something to her to try to harm her monkey. And she's continually trying to harm my monkey and my monkeys and the care that I provide for them. And it is just unreal. She has messaged every single person that I'm attached to. She has gone way off the deep end. She is literally just pecking away at everybody that touches me. And I think she just wants to remove everybody away from me that loves and supports me and try to paint me out to be this horrible, terrible person.
so let me show you something real quick, Sarah. I didn't mean to flip the camera.
It didn't get on you.
So this is a screenshot that I found from Facebook of Miss Lauren back on January 30th. We had a news story.
I have
done.
hundreds of those.
I know. We had a news
hundreds
story
of
done.
those.
And this is so just read that. But now we're now we're horrible monkey people.
Yesterday on live, and I have plenty of people who have corroborated this. She sat there yesterday and said that there's never been any kind of abuse going on in this home and that my monkeys are safe. And now she has plummeted off the deep end and I'm this horrible, terrible person. My house is filthy. My monkeys aren't taken care of. She makes it such a big deal. Can you flip that back around? That one of my monkeys had worms that came to us as a surrender, and we had to treat the entire troop. She didn't have the bubonic plague. Why are we acting like she had the bubonic plague?
Yeah, she had pinworms. We have one monkey that was confirmed to have pinworms. We have the documentation from the vet, and he said, "Hey, go ahead and treat your entire troop just to be safe.
Yeah.
Just to be safe, treat your entire troop." Then when everybody would come over, we'd joke, hey, if your asshole starts itching, just remember you need to go get looked at because you gotta have worms.
And not ever one time did she have any issues with anything, ever came up with anything at all like, hey, FYI. The only time she ever said a single thing to me was she waited, I think, 3 weeks before she came to me and said that her feelings were hurt, that she saw a video on Reddit, that Greg said he didn't want to hear a bunch of whining, screaming kids. We were on the back patio. I did not hear that. People who watch us know that if Greg says something inappropriate, I'm like, Greg, stop. Greg, don't say that. Like,
Yeah,
I am the first to
hear
jump
you
up and
say
say,
it.
exactly. I didn't even know that it was said. I don't go to Reddit. She is obsessed with Reddit, and it is literal poison. It is brainwashing poison, and I'm really sad that she fell into that.
She was on live all day today, and
She is now best friends with all of my greatest haters, so that's
Yeah.
fun.
So it's funny, did something happen between Greg and Lauren that set her off? That was one of my questions, but we covered that. And I don't want to, because it seems like it's one of those issues that
Maybe she's mad that nothing did happen. I don't know.
She wants to be on my spicy page.
Okay. Who knows?
That's a joke. I would never put her on that.
Only her and God know
That's not
what she wants. But it's funny that I mean, kind of predicted that somehow. But anyways, so let's just move on to the next topic, because I think that is an issue that
To Rihanna.
isn't going to be resolved tonight.
It's not. It's
No,
not.
absolutely not. I would never.
She's going to continue to fucking do her, but she's trying to build her platform based off of drama. You know, she can have 500 people in there when she's talking about this shit, but the minute she quits talking about all the drama, all the bullshit, she'll drop back down to her 100
She just
people,
sits on her
whatever.
bed in her pajamas all day long, holding
Yeah.
her monkey. Like, it's
Like, just
quite
sit there and
boring.
hold your monkey and do that, whatever. So, like,
So.
either build your platform based off of drama if that's what you really want to do,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's her page.
A lot of people do, to be
Yeah,
honest.
absolutely.
So okay, let's move on to kind of go backwards a little bit, actually. So when did you, okay, you already talked about Brutus, you already talked about how you kind of met Josh and the nature of your relationship before Orion was brought in. So when did you kind of notice any signs of like abuse or anything like
What, on
We
Orion?
weren't talking to them at all. I got a phone call out of the middle of nowhere from Sarah in the middle of the night, telling me that Orion, which is Phoenix, was hurt, and that I wasn't told at the time that he had a cast on his leg. I was told that he was having red light therapy at the veterinary clinic, and that Josh just couldn't do it anymore, and that either they were going to have me come and pick him up or someone else that they knew. And that was that. And I was like, I got it. I made a phone call right then and there. He was picked up within hours. Hours. A friend of mine lived very, very close to them. Another monkey that is here is an owner surrender. His mom lives very close to where Josh is, and she was there first thing in the morning
Guys,
to
if
get
y'all
that
hear
monkey.
if y'all hear the name Orion, that is Phoenix.
Orion is Phoenix.
Phoenix is Orion. Orion
Sarah
is Phoenix.
and I chose to change his name because of what we found out that was going on, that Sarah told me. I didn't want him to ever hear the name Orion again.
Yeah.
So we picked a name and we changed his name. Sarah actually picked the name. We were tossing some names around and I was like, oh, look at this, Phoenix. And she's like, that's the name. Rise above the ashes.
Did you know that he was on any
Wanna come over, Amy?
more intense substances? Did you know?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I
When
did.
When did you just know that like right off the bat? Like you kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. You could test every single inch of my hair. I have never done a item in my life ever.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Everyone on TikTok knows.
Greg likes
Sorry.
to joke a lot. You guys know that. Remember when he went to pick up Daisy, he was going to do a film.
An adult film star.
Greg likes to joke a lot. So think what you will. Think what you will.
So you knew about the Brutus situation.
So
When?
we didn't know about that until he came. So after they had purchased Orion and showed up here for Christmas or whenever it was, that's when we found out what happened to Brutus at that point. So
why did you, so at that point, I mean, I get why you then wouldn't want to share that. Did you share that with anyone at all?
No.
Like,
No.
not the inspector or any, I guess, no one?
Why would I share that with my inspector? That's not even my monkey.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am not required to share anything with my inspector, but because of the mass amount of snarking and reporting that I get, if Loxley got a runny nose today, I am texting my inspector, hey, Loxley is not feeling well. We're headed to the vet in the morning. I've already texted him. Boom. I do not legally have to do that. What I do have to legally do is have this binder right here ready to go if she comes to my home. USDA is administrative only. They regulate what you do based off of guidelines and paperwork. So and the problem with this whole Phoenix situation is they've already mass reported me so much that she did come here for a surprise inspection because I was denying a baby monkey life-saving surgeries. He would have not survived. I don't know if you know how much 150 grams is. Do you know how much 150
It's
grams?
tiny.
It's a little handful.
Yeah.
A little handful. He wouldn't have survived the surgery. My inspector has been here. She has read every single vet record. She has read every single x-ray. She has seen every single report. She knows all the things.
Yeah.
She's already touched on that. It's in the past.
Yeah.
If I had not been mass reported and her come here for that, I am not legally required to tell her that. Phoenix could have passed away and I'm still not legally required to tell her that. They come, you get your license, you have 3 years, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Each year they come for a scheduled inspection unless you are mass reported. My inspector has been here about 8 times in the past 2 years. It is asinine.
That's only because social media.
Right. It is asinine. They have actually had many, many meetings about my case and it is a whole entire campaign and they know that. So when they come up with this ridiculous stuff, a lot of it is overlooked because they know, but because they were getting mass reported that I was denying a baby monkey life-saving procedures, she came here, she saw all the things, and Tiffany Blue Eyes is messaging people and telling them to unfollow LOX and Ollie. Isn't that grand?
go get another bottle of vodka. You
Yes, please.
fucking drunk.
So I'm not legally required to report to the USDA any changes. But let's say one of my monkeys passed away today. I show why, or if I sold you a monkey today, I show why. And the paperwork on that primate has to stay in my files for an entire year. So a year from today, if I sold one of my monkeys to you today, which I can legally do that, today, paperwork showing that I sold you that monkey. 1 year from today, I can throw it in the trash. And the monkey never existed. I can throw the paperwork in the trash and the monkey was never in my possession.
Wow.
But I have to keep it for a year so that they can keep up with the administrative paperwork. That's it. So
Yeah, it sounds like there needs to be a lot of reform in that area.
Now people just need to stay in their lanes and mind their own business, and then they don't have to worry about it. Like,
people sell and trade acquisition forms on primates all the time. It happens. The exotic animal trade is so far above your head or my head that we will never understand.
Yeah.
There's no way that they can. I had a very knowledgeable lady at one time tell me that there's about 500,000 primates in the United States. Can you tell me that they can regulate every single one of those and keep a full paper trail? I have a 20 to 25-year-old capuchin in my possession right now that was a USDA transfer. There ain't a lick of paperwork on where she came from.
That is,
I don't know her real name.
That is
I don't know who her breeder was. I don't know where she came from. 1 year and gone.
That is insane. See, I feel like there's
I
so
do my homework.
You're so passionate about this. Like you gotta do something, right? Like I feel like you could totally. I mean, I guess you're spreading awareness right now.
I do.
in front of
Every
thousands of people. Yeah,
Every day.
bare minimum. I mean,
I love my inspector so much, but I work so hard to educate myself, to protect myself because of the amount of hate. I could be angry and mad, but I take the hate and I turn it into a positive, and I educate myself and I learn and I read and I do all the things. And, my inspector was here the last time that she was here, and we were talking about something, and I said, no, it's XYZ. And she's like, I don't think you're right. And she's like, I'm just going to grab my book and look. And she goes, oh shit, you're right. So don't with me. Do not with me.
Yes. Tell
He
him.
was impressed. Every single time that my inspector comes here, there are new things. There are amazing things. There is growth. There is improvement. And every time she comes, she's like, oh my God, when did you get this? Oh my God, don't forget to put that in your enrichment program. Don't forget to change that enclosure size. Like, it's all in the paperwork.
Yeah.
So
Good. Okay, let's move on. So, okay, let's go back to Phoenix. So, did the vet ever tell you or like give you some sort of explanation for what could have happened? Like
So-
blunt force trauma is a pretty like serious.
So whenever so Phoenix saw a veterinarian when he was with Josh prior. I think it was the paperwork, and I'd have to go back and look, but I can't show because it's X-rays. I want to say it was like 2 weeks prior to coming here, maybe 11 days. I don't remember. And when I received him in my possession, it was late at night. I cannot remember what day, the 13th, was it the 13th, I believe, of February, late at night. When you transport a monkey that's already sick, that's a lot of stress on them. So you just keep them calm and you keep them quiet and you don't pester them. I already knew that he had a cast bigger than his body
You drinking coffee this
on
morning?
his leg,
Oh, good Lord.
and he had
Did you find
had
the
a
creamer
very
if you
long
want it?
trip to get here.
Black?
So I brought him home. I put him in the enclosure. I fed him. I put him in the enclosure. Woke up the next morning, took him straight to the vet.
Yeah.
When you take a primate to the vet, I was asked what happened to this monkey, and I said, I don't know. I don't know. I have never gotten an answer from Josh what happened to that monkey. But what I do know, based off of all of the x-rays that I have, is that there had to have been multiple incidences because all of the things were healing in a different way. One may have had more calcification, one looked more fresh, one of them was very calcified. Like every single injury on that monkey had a different time frame. All of those things did not happen in one situation.
So the vet told you like that specifically?
Yeah, we seen it on the X-ray.
It's all on the x-rays. But and I was even asking, I asked them about spider monkeys because in San Antonio it is illegal to own a primate. And I said, do y'all see primates here? And they were like, yeah, we absolutely do. I said, but it's illegal. They said, it doesn't matter. We are here to care for the animal. We take in the animal. We care for the animal. To the best of my knowledge, a veterinarian is not required to report concerns of abuse. They take care of the animal and they move on.
Yeah.
I was referred to a surgery bone specialist who repairs small bones like that. She never said a word. She wanted to just see if we could fix the monkey and move on. My inspector, when she came, she said, oh my God, what has happened to this baby? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. And that's it. If it was something that should have been reported, then my inspector would have reported it.
Okay.
The vet would have reported it. The original vet would have reported it. So, if my dog right now, I'm pretty sure that my pony kicked him or stepped on his toes and he limps sometimes. If I take him in, are they going to accuse me of abuse? Or can I just say, I don't know what happened to my dog because I didn't see it?
Yeah.
And then they fix the dog and they move on.
So do you believe like today that it was abuse that caused those fractures and broken bones?
I absolutely do. Yes,
Okay.
I absolutely do.
Did you at that point believe that it was abuse?
Yes, I know that it was because Sarah showed me videos and screenshots after the fact. I was not told of anything with that monkey other than that he had an issue with his leg. So when I received him, it was appalling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't talk to Josh. I was upset. Josh was in a very terrible place. I was working with Sarah Sarah was not in a good place. She was upset. My job here was done. I have the monkey. I'm going to focus on the monkey. And that's what I did.
Did you
I had
tell-
at least 5 people recommend that I euthanize him. So
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's really intense.
it is. It sucks. It's terrible. But do I owe that to my chat? I don't owe that to anybody because my veterinarians know, my inspector knew. I did what I was supposed to do. I am not required by law to say shit on this live if I don't want to.
That is valid. Everyone in this chat can agree with that, right? She doesn't have to tell you guys in here. She's taking care of what happened. So what about, like, regarding him specifically as the abuser? Like, did you do anything to, like, hopefully make it right from his side? Like, did
Josh is
you
really
confront him about it?
Josh is really good about FaceTiming. He likes to FaceTime because then you have nothing in text, right? So we had been in several text arguments and I'm like, Josh, what the fuck is this? Josh, what the fuck is this? And he would sit there and cry and be like, Brandy, I don't know. I don't fucking know. And I do believe that. I do believe that somebody with PTSD and extreme mental health issues and using can behave in a way that they do not honestly know what happened. I do believe that. And if you don't, then I hope you never have to deal with mental health or addiction. So judge me if you will. It is not my place to put someone's personal business out there when the monkey is going to be fine, whether Josh is blasted about his mental health issues or he is not. The monkey is fine.
Yeah. I will say though, only because of the okay, what you said with multiple calcifications, like at different times, if the monkey had multiple injuries at different times, I mean, even if the very last time was a blackout, I mean, he would have still known at a certain point that his head wasn't right enough to be taking care of this animal.
That was in the video that we showed last night.
Yeah. It was in
You
the
could
video.
see the video. Like that, he sent that video to Sarah because he had literally almost unalived that monkey
Like,
right then and there.
let's spin this. Let's spin this. I'm going to spin this in 2 ways. One, had I jumped on the live and bashed Josh for doing something in that fashion, and Josh chose, and Almighty said this, that he wanted to eat his GUN. Like he wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Had Josh done that because of something that I said on a live feed, who would have gotten blamed? I can't win with these people. I need you to understand that. It doesn't matter. My monkeys have a huge outdoor enclosure. They have bashed me for 2 years because I didn't have a big enough outdoor enclosure. And now that they have an outdoor enclosure, they're mad that my monkeys are in their outdoor enclosure. I don't understand.
I will say, Brandy, I think that honestly, you could be the most shit person. You could be, I don't know, a horrible mom. You could hate your husband. I don't know.
She does
I
most
don't know. I don't know about like you and your personal life, but one thing I do know about you is how much you care about these monkeys. I think we can all see that. Like,
They don't.
if people in
They
here
don't.
can't see that, if people
They
in
do
here
not.
can't see, then I'm sorry, then you're blind. Like, because
So at the end of the day, the vet bills, you know, we showed the receipts last night for 2 of the vet bills. The third one was at our normal vet. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna show that one on live anyways.
No.
because I protect my vet. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But more importantly, the cost that we spent, you know, whenever Anthony was in the live last night, you know, I sent him everything on the backside to his phone where he
You
could,
have everything that he has, by the way.
Yeah, I sent everything to him so he could see it on his phone. He wanted to Josh is a large creator, okay?
the thing that people got to understand, we utilize this platform, our platform, to support our monkeys, right? That's what it's for. We utilize it to try to support our monkeys. And even all these jackasses that are talking shit, their negativity is still bringing views to our platform. There's still got people seeing our what we're doing. We're still seeing everything, whatever. You call it a money grab, you call us scammers, you call us beggars. We are doing the exact same thing that everybody on this platform does. Would I say that?
Do you make money on TikTok, Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh.
I sat there and watched a battle today. I watched Anthony do a dare battle today, which was fucking hilarious. After he was said and done, he was like number 3 in the country or in the world, however the rank. I don't know how the rankings work. He was like number 3. He'd had over 1 million diamonds put up. I was like, does that make him a scammer because he went and he used his platform to do what he does? Like, how is it not okay for us?
I'm just trying to feed my monkeys. I'm just trying to.
How is it? How is
be
it
their
not
voice
okay
and educate?
Yeah, how is it
spread
not
awareness.
okay for us
And I think that's what it comes down to is that you guys are, so there's different layers when it comes to businesses on TikTok. Like streamers like me, I'm trying to like just produce content, or like Anthony, he's just trying to produce content and get monetized.
So what are we doing?
But you have a separate layer there. You have the streaming aspect, and then you also are providing for these animals, and that's that is more than just.
What really pisses people off the most is we have people that literally call and say, "Hey, we want to set you up on a monthly donation. What is your Cash App? Okay, here." Or, "Hey, we're sending a check. Be looking for it. It's in the mail." That pisses people off more than anything in the world.
But does it make them mad when the local animal shelter gets a new playground for the dogs? Does that make them mad? Like, they say that they love and care about my monkeys, but there hasn't been a single thing that they have done to show that they love and care about the well-being of my monkeys.
Don't give these animals proper care. Okay.
My biggest hater said 2 years ago that she would leave me alone if I would do better for my monkeys. And every single month and every single week and every single day we do better for these monkeys. That is not what it is about. That is not.
We built a 20 by 40 foot enclosure.
Nobody has one of those for their spider monkeys.
We did better for the monkeys because that's what they asked for. We're in the process of running electrical.
But yeah, they make fun of the enclosure and say that it's a piece of crap. I don't get it.
Shannon, I'm not answering your fucking questions.
Honestly, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even care about the money. You guys showed last night, or was that last night? Yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm so tired. I've had no sleep and I'm tired of crying.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't even care about the money. That's like every single.
The whole.
And that's the same thing that All Money said. I'm not sitting here making millions of dollars. Like
Every
for
single
Lauren
TikTok
to be
creator is
so
gonna make
concerned
money.
now, like where the monkey's money is going.
It's
We
none of
are
her fucking
we are
business.
so transparent.
Yeah.
Like
So that's neither here nor there. What I'm concerned about is the abuse aspect. So when you took Phoenix into the hospital.
So that's what I was gonna talk about a while ago.
Well, so just
we
hold
got
on.
we got distracted about that.
For 1 second. So did you confront him about it that you could see because of? Okay. What did he say to you guys?
when I confronted him about the head and the scab that was on that wound came off. If you're not familiar with medical grade Manuka honey, I talked about this last night. I took a Q-tip with a small amount and I rubbed it around the perimeter of that wound. The scab came off and revealed that large wound. When I confronted Josh with that, he's like, "What the fuck is that? Don't fucking show me that. I don't even know what that is." Immediately, and I did pull away from Josh. At what point did he send money? Sarah and I were trying to take care of things on our own. And I don't remember how many days it was. And it did blow up on TikTok. A lot of people the haters were going in and attacking Josh. What did you do to the monkey? Its leg is broken. And all he continued to say was, I don't know what happened to his leg. He would be on my shoulder and he would jump down. I did agree not to open up a whole can of worms. That was my choice. I do not want to be the one responsible for him having done something to himself. Why are we bringing it open now? Because I was attacked and I had no other choice but to stand up and prove the facts. Because a lot of things.
You were scared that he was going to hurt
Himself.
Yeah.
He threatens it. He said it to All Money. He said it to Sarah.
Did he threaten it to you? Did he threaten like?
Yes, like this is going to destroy me. Please just don't do that. I can't do this. I can't survive this. It isn't my place.
Okay.
The monkey was fine. The monkey was not any better or any worse by me doing or not doing.
We're not.
I am. You cannot just call and report. It doesn't work that way. The monkey was already out of his care. Like, if I have one monkey here that is in bad shape and I have 12 of them that are in good shape, do you know how long it takes them to remove that monkey from my care? The monkey wasn't even in his care anymore. It was owner surrendered to me. My possession, my problem.
So at the end of the day, should we have stepped up and said, you know what? Yes, he was abused. Let's report it. Let's do this. Let's do that.
No, there's nothing to report.
Hang on, stop. Just let me talk. Should we have done it? Yes. Did we choose to not do it? Yes. He said, hey, you got to understand, we will pay you. I'll pay for everything to take care of it. No problem. Take care of it. Take care of it. Take care of it. He covered all the medical bills for it. He covered the red light therapies, all that stuff for him. We still come out of pocket to pay for a lot of the stuff that we had to do with
and there was a lot of things gifted to him because that's what our chat does.
And at the end of the day, do you say, were we wrong for not reporting it? Absolutely.
I don't think we were. We were not wrong for not
that's
reporting.
your opinion. And my opinion is, if I could, and I lost my shit. I went live and almost called him out.
Oh yeah, right. I remember.
That's where me and Anthony got crossways.
Right.
Because I was trying to, Josh is a big creator. Anthony's a big creator. James Neese is a big creator. You got all these big creators who have a platform, who have the ability to truly, like Josh is friends with Anthony. And when he used that guy, and I know what that guy's capable of. I know what the name All Money and what he's capable of doing to people's accounts. So for me, I'm like, you know what?
Shut it down.
It's probably not better to. It's probably better to just, like, if he wants to pay it, pay it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, whatever. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
So and honestly and truthfully, none of this shit would have ever come out if they hadn't have attacked. And I hate to say that, but it's the facts. It's the facts. But
Lauren and people like Tiffany Blue Eyes, they're messaging people all across our platform, trying to create hate and break up our platform. They're trying to break up our core. They're literally I'm getting messages all day long that they're messaging people and trying to start drama. Like, why? Go build your own platform. Go live your life with your monkey that I helped you get. Just go. I wanted to just walk away. And that's what I did. And it was a huge ordeal. And her and Mango Monkey went live and bashed me and said that they chose to walk away from me. And that isn't how that happened. Like, just let it go.
The one thing I can say is, I don't care if James agrees with this or doesn't agree with this. I'm just using him as an example. What I can tell you is, nowhere in my livelihood, nowhere in my life would I injure any of my animals. Matter of fact, I'd move mountains and I'd move the fucking world to provide for these fucking monkeys.
I appreciate that. I really do.
And that's what I am. And if people want to sit here and tell me that, oh, you abuse, no, motherfucker, I don't abuse my monkeys. Did they have a video of me bopping my monkey on the head with a fucking phone? Yeah.
I remember when I interviewed you the first time, couldn't find, trust me, I scoured.
I have a statement to make.
Okay.
That situation happened about a week before I received my USDA exhibitor license. Okay. That was one of the first complaints that they came to my inspector about. She showed me that video and she said, who is this man and why did he hit that monkey on the head with this phone?
Yeah.
Like, blink, come on. They fall harder than that playing.
Yeah.
And I said, hold on. I didn't even have my license yet. She goes, say no more. Say no more. Delete the video and move on. Administrative. I wasn't even licensed at the time. It didn't matter. That is how, she didn't say, oh my God, you're an animal abuser. Say no more. That's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
But it's an ordeal. And I would like to ask my chat, if anybody in my chat who supports us, whether you're tapping, sending gifts, or sending cash donations, are you mad that I did not blast Josh and share all of the things about Phoenix? Are you mad that I didn't do that? Because I don't think there's a single person that's mad at me for that. So if like my core, my team, they're not gonna, they know that I will share what I choose to share. So why are my haters so mad? They just want to stir up drama and try to make me look like a bad person. That's it.
As long as you know that. As long as you
I do know that. And that's why it doesn't bother
We've been
me.
dealing with it for 3
They have
fucking
wanted
years.
me off this app for 3 years. Why? Because we are successful.
But here's the thing: not one of them that have not been here. Not one of them will come here. Not one of them.
I've asked
Tiffany
them.
Blue Eyes, that goofy bitch was a drunk from the day one, and we paid for every fucking trip that she came down here. We paid for it, but between us and Angel and all the different people that was there, because she was a fucking whiny ass that was always broke.
And she left and chose to snark.
Yeah.
Because we let her be a mod for one day and she came in modding under the influence and Greg removed her. And that is why she is mad and that is why she chose to snark. But when you cannot stay off of Reddit, that is where it drives you. You guys have watched us rise and fall with Reddit. You have watched us be extremely triggered by Reddit. Y'all have watched us be upset by Reddit. And the second that we stopped going on Reddit, our page soared. It soared through positivity and support.
Well, there
and
you go.
you will
That's
not
the
hear
other
me
thing.
say the word Reddit on my open live. You won't. I don't do it because the second you do, I heard that they literally posted today, woohoo, we're soaring now because people are running over there and reading the bullshit. Run along.
So we I definitely can have a better perspective on the Phoenix situation. What about Sarah? I know Brandy, you've been close friends with her. And I saw the screenshot with the bruises.
Yeah.
How have you been helping her through that emotionally?
Okay, so I have not talked to her for probably 2 months. I haven't talked to her for probably a couple of months because Josh made an advancement again, and I can't keep doing those things. Josh in his mind believes that I'm going to pack up my monkeys and go live with him in Florida so he can support me and my monkeys. That's not going to happen. I've never given him any indication that that's going to happen.
Interesting.
It is, absolutely. I haven't spoke to them. Him and Sarah are boyfriend and girlfriend, and we have not spoke to them in probably since he bought the red light therapy for Phoenix. He chose to buy that. We were on live in a box together. We were simply just friends, me and him and Greg and Sarah, just friends, sharing the monkey, letting him see the monkey doing well. And I said something about his red light therapy, and he was like, well, now that he's moved into his big enclosure, let me buy him a second one. I was like, no, Josh, you don't have to do that. But he chose to, and that's fine. The monkey is better off having the light that covers his whole entire enclosure instead of having to move him into a small enclosure to do his therapy. It is there. He gets it 3 to 4 times a day. Every time I walk by, I turn it on. It runs for 30 minutes, and his whole entire cage is getting the therapy. He has to have that for his whole entire life because he is going to be arthritic. He is going to struggle throughout his life because of the things that have happened to him. I don't know if you know what a non-union fracture is, but his bones were actually broken and they were sitting like this in his leg.
Yeah, I did see that.
Right. So if you look, a non-union fracture is where they actually are not growing back together all of the buildup on the bones that you saw. And if you look, they weren't barely connecting. So they call that a non-union fracture. Over time, and I haven't gotten a recent x-ray, there's no reason to. The last time I took him to the vet, he said, Brandy, he's fine. There's no reason to do another x-ray. There's no reason to gas this monkey and do another x-ray. He is fine. He is thriving. His muscular build, everything that you've done is phenomenal. Like, there's no reason. The vet, like, there's no reason because there's nothing you can do for it. He cannot have surgery. He still to this day cannot have surgery. He's too small. He would not survive. The surgery, the specialist that I spoke to many times, she consulted with her colleagues, and they also sent all of his rads over to a radiology specialist. That type of surgery, just for his leg, would take about 5.5 to 6 hours, just for his leg, to repair and pin his leg. I would love for you to see that monkey running, because you could never tell, you would never guess which leg was broken, ever. You would not guess any of the things that were wrong with that monkey. My inspector actually laughed. She was like, what? There's nothing wrong with this monkey. Bye. Everything looks great. Have a great day.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you did like a phenomenal job. You have all the expertise and the love. So regarding Sarah, I'll just repeat my question. Hold on.
No, I know what the question was, and we got off track. I had not talked to her. I had not talked to her until she called me the other day, and she was like, hey, what is going on with someone named Cooper Kate? She just messaged Josh and said, are we going to talk about this together, or are we going to talk about this without you? Very threatening message, very snide, threatening message. She's obviously a very bored housewife. I wish maybe she would go to work and work at her gym so that children from the daycare don't end up in the street. She just had 2 children from her daycare roaming in the street. Like, but it is what it is, right? So I'm the bad guy, and she's the innocent one. But she's a bored housewife sitting around in her pajamas all day, messaging everybody who's attached to me. So she messaged that to Josh. Sarah said, oh my God, Brandy, what is going on with this person? I said, Sarah, please just block her and move on. I believe that Josh panicked because of the situation. I believe, this is my opinion, that Josh was like, oh shit. He knows that this woman's been in my house. He knows that this woman has seen the things. He had to have panicked. She sent him 2 screenshots. One of them was a group text message where I said, Josh does GAYPORN in a private text message. And the other one was where the first week or so that Josh was not helping, I said that I was mad because Josh didn't offer to help pay for any of these freaking bills. And I didn't know that the monkey was in the shape that he was in. And I was looking at the time a $10,000 to $12,000 surgery. So yes, I was pissed. Absolutely. But very quickly, we found out that he wasn't even a candidate for the surgery. So we moved right along and we did our thing. At the time, Sarah pushed really hard, asking us to start up a GoFundMe. She was not in the right space with Josh, and she was trying to get us to bash Josh through a GoFundMe statement so that her friends that have a large platform could help blast Josh and raise funds for this surgery. I chose not to do that because she wasn't doing it for the right reason, because she just wanted these people to help her to blast Josh and take him down, and that's not fair. Fast forward, when she called me about the message from Cooper Kate, I believe that Josh panicked. I believe that Josh was mad. He was like, oh, you're going down. I'm taking all of your monkeys away from you. He messaged All Money, and they were planning to figure out a way to take us down and have all of my monkeys taken away from me. Everything that I ever loved, it's all going to be gone. Everything that you worked hard for, it's going to be gone. Like, you fucked up, Brandy, you got exposed. And I said, Josh, what did I get exposed for? For saying you do GAYPORN? Or because I was mad that you didn't present to me the monkey that you presented to me? He came to me sight undiscussed. Like, it was not presented to me the way that, you know, hey, the monkey has red light therapy and I just can't do it anymore. He won't stop biting me. So yes, I was upset when I sent that text message to someone who I thought was my friend. So yes, actually Cooper Kate has spent all day, every day messaging everybody that she can think of because she is a very bored housewife.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'll be right back. I have to pee. So just
Yep.
I want to keep going. I want to get into the sales.
Hey, there's no bathroom breaks.
I have to. I have to. Okay.
All right. Oh, Lord have mercy.
How many people are in her chat over there, you guys?
How are we lying? That's what I want to know. How are we lying?
What did I lie about? Please
Well,
tell me.
I'm just reading their chat over there. Their chat over there says everybody in this deal is lying about it, and like we showed proof yesterday of everything. We're not going to show pictures and stuff again tonight because
So we have over 3,000 people. Make sure that you guys go over and show Sarah some love. Send her a heart, me guys, please.
we're not listening to any of the haters. I could really give two flying fucks, to be real honest with you. We're doing this. We've got this new chick, Mommy of the Bees.
Nope.
No. Hang on. No, I'm going to address this bitch because this bitch is fucking crazy. She literally stalked.
I don't care what Cooper Kate's doing.
She stalked Sadie for so long and whined and cried about how Sadie was stealing her fucking her content. Oh, she's stealing all my content. She stole all my content. So yeah.
Okay.
If you go watch her lives and y'all believe anything that she says after watching
Okay,
her.
let Sarah finish.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so important. This might be the most important part of this interview. So just lock in with me for one minute here. Sarah, the bruises on her face. When did you get the first indication that
She sent
there was
those. She
something going on?
sent those to Brandy as soon as it happened.
Because I know from other videos posted by other creators in his previous relationships and arrests.
It's on Instagram. You can see it on
Right.
Instagram.
So how long were you aware of that? And what did you do? Did you talk to her directly only? Did you talk to J-Hop about it ever?
I actually talked to both of them. I continually encourage Josh to please go to the VA for help. I continually encourage them not to communicate with one another. Sarah would call me a lot. I love Sarah to death. She's a great person. I really don't want to put all of her business out there. The reason why I showed what I showed was because I had to stand up for myself yesterday.
Yeah, we're not going to get any deeper on that.
That's fine. I don't want to put her on blast or in danger whatsoever.
Right. That was my hugest concern. I have cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. I just want people to leave me alone. If you don't want to positively support me, then just leave me alone. The only opinions that matter to me are the people who are here to love my monkeys and positively support us, whether it's sending a heart me every day or sending $500 a week so that my monkeys can have diapers. I don't care. I am their voice. I am their advocate, and that is my job. That is my job, is to take care of these monkeys. I didn't wake up one morning and say, oh, I'm going to open a 501c3 and rescue monkeys. I didn't do that. I'm not over here trying to get rich off of my primates. I am just trying to find support and be their advocate. That is it. I don't know why that's such a problem.
No.
Hey, before I hang up,
Don't be mad because I do it better than you do. It's still fucking hard.
Before we hang up tonight, Sarah, I want to give you a tour of our pets, my dogs, because apparently the dogs are a big fucking topic in your goddamn chat.
Oh, okay.
So let me say it to you this way. My Yorkie lived the first 3 years of her life on my counter. She lived on my counter. She's a passenger princess. I would carry her outside, set her in the grass to go potty, and bring her back in. Apparently now I don't feed my dogs and they're starving and all of the things. We also have a 14-year-old Chihuahua who has cancer. She's riddled with cancer. Very grumpy girl. The hairy Yorkie, if she walks by the enclosure, my monkeys will grab her and slam her into the cage. My Chihuahua, if she walks by, they will grab her and she could potentially bite them. When Lauren is here, or when a guest is here, or when someone is here, my dogs are put away. Daisy is put away. I'm not going to have, like, Lauren's children would try to grab or pick up my dog or do this or do that. Not to mention, Lauren would be here working. We would be working and working and working and working because she came to help. So not only was I helping her with her kids, she was loving my monkeys. She was helping clean up after my monkeys. She was helping organize. Like, that was not my daily normal routine. When she was here, it wasn't a daily normal routine. Yes, the dogs are up. My dogs are up right now. They're over here behind a pet gate, which is underneath a desk area right here between my kitchen and my laundry room. Does it matter if she's on the counter or on the floor or on the couch? Why does it matter? My dogs are healthy. They are fed. Does Hattie's hair get tangled up? Absolutely. I shaved all of her hair off a couple months ago.
So you've kind of covered everything that you want to cover about Sarah.
Yeah, we're not going to get into their personal life, right?
I worry for Sarah. I worry for Sarah every single day. If you've never been in love with someone who has been a pain in the butt or abusive or any of the things, if you've only been in love with the absolute perfect guy in the whole entire world and you have the most perfect relationship, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. I see it in my chat every single day. People say, "Oh, my husband's an asshole too. My husband's a pain in the butt
My
too."
dogs are in the freezer. My dogs aren't in the freezer.
They're talking about Alex. It's stupid.
Okay, well, so I guess let's go back to the reason that you guys are here. What have you learned from the situation with J-Hop, his inexperience with exotic animals, and how do you feel like you can prevent that happening in the future with anybody else and just spread awareness about that? Because it does, like you said in the beginning, it does take a lot to raise a monkey and take care of a monkey. So moving forward, what are you gonna do? What message do you want to give people about that?
I have educated for quite some time that I don't think people should have primates. It's a lot of work. I definitely have a complete different view on it. Prior to taking an owner surrender, if knowing that I have 11 monkeys that have come to me from other situations is not profound enough of a statement, I don't know what is. I truly don't. Did I purchase 4 capuchins? We absolutely did. Would I do it again? Yes, I would. I love our monkeys. They are so fulfilling and loving, and the amount of serotonin that you have in your system all day, every day is through the roof. So I do not recommend people getting a monkey. If you would have told me this, I was going to have what I have now 3 years ago, I would have never believed you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. And for people to try and comparatively put me side by side with someone who has 1 monkey or somebody who has 2 pet monkeys or whatever, we're not the same. I literally only know 2 other people who do what I do. Are we perfect at it? Absolutely not. But where else would these babies have gone? Do people not realize that this spider monkey craze is out of this world? It is a terrible situation, and everybody should be supporting and educating, and we're not. We're hating and we're bashing. Like, there is nobody else within hundreds of miles of me that would say, I'll take the monkey. And it's going to be really bad soon. I really feel like it's going to be really bad soon. There's a lot of people in South Texas that have spider monkeys in their possession, living in apartments, living in the city limits, living in small housing, living where they don't have enclosures, where they don't have enrichment. It is very huge. It's going to be a big deal. And the problem is the zoos are already full. There really are no sanctuaries. There are people like me who have a passion and take them. Texan from Swing Along Monkey Rescue. Hate me if you will, but Spider Monkey Winston, Michael, we are all just doing the best that we can for a passion. Not because we want to abuse monkeys. Not because, oh, I'm going to do all of this and sacrifice every single thing in my being to abuse a monkey. Like, it makes no sense. It makes literally no sense.
So my only last follow-up question for that is, what are you, because I know you mentioned sometimes it takes a toll on your own mental health too. Like, what are you doing for yourself? Because it's so hard to take care of anyone, anything else besides if you're not taking care of yourself first, you know? So what do you do for your own mental health? What do you do for your own self to be able to take on such a big load? Because that's a lot. I mean,
I don't stop. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I do the best that I can every single day. I do have some friends that I lean on. Lauren was one of those. And it's very disgusting that she has behaved this way. I just want her to leave me alone. That's it. If she ever cared about me as a friend, just leave me alone.
so social relationships were your biggest coping mechanism. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why there's the group messages. That's why they talk about.
Yeah.
They literally are all in these group messages, like women, and they gossip and talk and bullshit, and like men don't do that shit. Like we don't. Like I don't have a group message.
Like even if I'm not on live, I could get on that group FaceTime and hang out with people who I thought were my closest friends, and just sit on FaceTime or change diapers or wash dishes or fold laundry. Like I am so fucking done with that. Done.
So moving forward, are you gonna seek out social support elsewhere? Are you going to journal? Like what else can you do for yourself? Because girl, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take on 13 monkeys in one house. 2 dogs and 1 husband.
4 dogs.
4 dogs and 1 husband.
Yes, we have 2 outside dogs, and obviously that's a huge issue. We don't feed them either.
What they really want is us to get off of social media.
They just want us off. They want to take away the hard work that we've done. Like Cooper Kate has been on TikTok for a couple of weeks, and she wants to think that, you know, she can try to build or take away something from me that took me 3 fucking years to endure.
But,
You know, the biggest question that I'm going to ask is I'm going to call Texan or Michael, who do the same thing that I do, and ask them what they do for themselves socially. I know Michael works out a lot. That's probably about all he has time to do. Texan, she's just like me. She's just like me. And I don't have to go get my nails done. I don't have to go to the hair salon.
But mental health matters.
Hurricane Alicia, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mental health really matters, and yeah, I just want to see you feeling at your best to be able to take on so much.
Oh, I get it. I totally get it. It's been rough the past week. It's
Yeah.
been really rough. And I go through the motions. Like I change the diapers. I prep the food. I do the laundry. Like I get like all of the things for the monkeys
Thank you,
absolutely come before me.
Thank you, Tammy.
And that's my life. And I'm okay with that. I do what I have to do. You don't know me. You're right. You don't know me. I'm a driver. I am a boss woman. I spent 27 years in a career where I owned it. I owned my career. So I am used to having a very full plate, and I can rock it. And just because I make it look easy doesn't mean it isn't hard, because it is fucking hard. And I get it. I do it. I make it happen. You know, is there a pile of laundry sitting on the floor in my bedroom right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did all the toys on the patio get wiped down last night? Fuck no, because I chose to sit here and cry. I sat here and cry.
Yeah. Well, I, you know, as just someone that's a random person on the internet, suggest, hope, pray that you find something that will give you that sense of peace so that you can more effectively and more lovingly take on everything that you have going on, because once again, mental health does matter, and
I appreciate that.
you matter. You deserve it. You deserve to
Now,
feel
people don't understand the heartache that you go through doing intakes and rescue. People do not understand night after night, day after day that I would stand here and take care of Phoenix and heal him. People don't understand that I received a monkey a month and a half ago, and she was very sick, very sick. And we only got to keep her and love her for 3 weeks. But you know what? Those 3 weeks were amazing. She came from an outdoor enclosure where she was never touched. She was never loved, and she knew love. And people like Lauren, who cannot contain themselves and think that they're sharing my deepest, darkest secrets. Like, I did not want to share Beth. I wanted to wait. Lauren stood next to me at the vet clinic when we had to make the decision to euthanize that monkey. I prepaid the bill. We did have the monkey under Lauren's name. She was going to originally take her for me. And we used the same vet. I swiped my card. I left. The monkey was going to be cremated. I was talking to one of my mentors, and she asked if I would be willing to donate Beth's body to science so that they could do a case study on her, because what she had was very, 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 very rapid decline. We believed that she had marmoset wasting disease. I learned a lot over the 3 weeks. She's at a university right now having a case study, and I just wanted to wait for the report before I shared. How can you be so hateful to share something that was not yours to share?
I'm sorry. I don't like that.
And talk about it and bash me and continue to act like I was hiding a dark secret. It is not your business to share. But I'm the bad guy. I'll take it. Every day I take it.
But nobody's the bad guy. You have your perspective, she has hers, and somewhere along the line, shit got twisted in someone's brain, and we all make poor decisions sometimes, and it sucks that a relationship like y'all's had to fall out over something so moot.
And when I decided to send Beth to the university, she's calling me a scammer, but she literally has my debit card information and still hasn't got the $200 refunded for a cremation that I paid for. And because it's under her name, I'm out $200, but I'm a scammer. And she has my debit card information, but it is what it is. Like, enjoy the $200. I obviously owe it to you. I don't even know. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's really all I had. There were certain topics that I did want to go a little bit deeper into, but I also respect y'all's boundaries and understand when.
What are those topics?
Really, it was the abuse between J-Hop and Sarah, and y'all's knowledge of that and what you did with that knowledge. That was what I wanted to go into, but I also understand if you don't want to dissect that. So.
Well, it's not our place to dissect that. That's their relationship. That's their situation. We weren't in an active conversation with them when all that went down. She called us after that happened. And at the end of the day, that's not our place.
Yeah. And if there's
I did not want to share that information yesterday. Okay. But to put the full circle together, like, Sarah doesn't deserve this. I have many text messages where I have told her she deserves the most amazing man in the world. We all do. We all do deserve for someone to wait on us hand and foot and treat us like a queen. She is an amazing person. She has an amazing career. She has an amazing life. And
so, hey, I do want to address something though. You want to talk about domestic violence? I see your chat is blowing up, accusing me of being like J-Hop. So March of 2000, March 31st, 2023, right? What are we, 24 right now? Or no, we're 25. So March 31st, 2023. I did admit it. You goddamn right I did. I went to.
They're so worried about that. Like it's old news.
Hang
Old
on.
news.
I'm gonna share this. And this is a story. I owned it. I owned it on live to our group of TikTok people. I went to have my gastric surgery done. When I did my gastric surgery, they removed me off of my psychiatric medicine. I take medicine for my PTSD, anxiety, depression, and several other things. I am bipolar, all the different things. So I take medicine for all that. With that being the case, I went to go back to my doctor, and my psychiatrist had retired at the time. When she retired, they were supposed to move me to the new psychiatrist. They didn't move me to the new psychiatrist. They didn't move me at all. So I lost basically I didn't have a psychiatrist at this point. My prescription run out. When my prescription ran out, I didn't take my medicine anymore for about 6 months. I went through detox, extremely bad. I suffered from withdrawals. I did all the things that because the medicine I was on was like
And he's not making excuses. He's just explaining.
Yeah.
Just explaining the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took full responsibility of it, 100%.
And I think I'm pretty sure we discussed this in
You
our
did.
live.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But they can't let these things go.
Right. So, but it's yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So once that happened, I went through all of that. September, October of 23, me and her had a big argument. I was tripped out, basically out of my mind because I was off of my medicine. We got in our argument. What we did, I reached up and I pushed my wife against the wall like that, and I held her against the wall. And when I realized what I had done, I pulled back and walked away. And at that point,
I left.
she left.
I left.
It's very hard for me to still talk about it, because under no circumstances would I ever do that. I've always been a firm believer in never laying a hand on a woman. And
And that was the one and only time that's ever happened.
absolutely. My wife can vouch for that 100%. I have never hang on. I struggle with it to this day because for me, it was hard. It was hard to realize in my own mind that the woman that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with, I did that.
Yeah.
And it ate me alive. It ate me alive because it's like, whatever it takes, whatever it takes to fix it is what I did. Before she come back home, I went on live stream.
They think it's all their business. They just are trying to find ways to discredit us.
Oh yeah. And
our lives, I wished my lives were as perfect as theirs.
I went on live and I addressed it with our entire chat because I wanted them to know what I did. Because we are a platform where we share our life. Like
Can I ask? So I've seen you talk about that with another creator. I'm not gonna name any names. On live. Was that ever a discussion that you had with J-Hop?
What's that?
Just the conversation that you just had with me.
No,
You never had that with him.
no.
Okay.
No, I never. Once I discussed it on my live stream, I walked that. I processed through it in my mind, and the way my counselor tells me to process things. I went through and I processed that, and I did what I needed to do. And once I did that, I washed it away from my mind. These people want to continuously bring it up, and it's okay. You know, they don't know they don't know the facts. They don't know. They see what we show on this camera when we're on this camera. They see it for the time period that we're here, and that's it. For me to own it, I 110% owned it. I was the piece of shit that I lived my life watching. I grew up in a family where my dad would come home drunk and beat the shit out of my mama. And I watched that.
So did I.
And I swore up and down that I would never
Same.
yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Daisy.
And when I realized that I had that happen,
Blankets in the hammock. She's looking
it
for the
really
blankets in the hammock.
it really hit home for me, and that was the life-changing event for me. And my wife can tell you that it's never happened again. Have we had our arguments? Have we had our fights? Absolutely. We're both two strong-willed people. I am a very bullheaded person.
So am I.
Yeah, let's hear Brandy. What do you want to hear, Brandy? What do you want to hear about Brandy? Like, y'all are so ignorant.
No, don't worry. But honestly, if you let my chat,
Yo, your chat's ratchet right now. You got so many ratchet bitches up in your chat.
that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, you straight up got
Well, it's because they know that they can't come over here and say that, but they have to.
Yeah. So honestly, don't. I'm not even reading it. So like,
Yeah.
I just kind of let it go. And if there's like doxing or like direct name calling, then that's when they get muted.
Right, Sky.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I said, at the end of the day,
I do need rest. I've been crying for days.
Lauren can go now. She gets to go run and go get on live now and paint her picture.
Well, yeah, she loves the second we hop off, she has to go on live.
She's already gone.
Immediately.
She's all gone already. She's already gone. I'm sure she's probably live streaming right now, and it's okay. Build your platform based off of what you want to build it off of.
And we'll do the same.
And we build ours off of what we're doing.
Yes, exactly. And at the end of the day, what you're gonna have left is everything that you've built. So
and the funny thing is every single item that she has for her Primate came from me and my chat. I came up with her monkey's middle name. Like, I helped her find her monkey. She couldn't afford the monkey, and I was able to talk to my friend and get him to reduce the price. But I'm not sitting here bashing her. Like, that's what friends do. Isn't that what friends do? Like,
are you able to? I guess you're still in the healing process of cutting ties with her.
I chose to walk away. I'm the one who chose to walk away. My mods will attest to that. I removed myself from a group message and I went dark for half a day or more. I do not want to have a friendship with her. I do not want to speak to her. What she has done is insufferable and unforgivable. I would never do something like that to her.
It almost just seems like tit for tat. Like, both of you guys are just talking about each other, and it's.
I won't say it. I have already decided. Her and mommy she is literally spending all of her time messaging everybody who has ever touched me. That is a horrible behavior, in my opinion. And if she wants to talk about morals, like, where are hers? To mess and to have other people messaging people and telling them to unfollow LOX and Ollie. You know, I have said, like, block her. If you're following her, please unfollow me. I don't need people like that in my life.
Well, I appreciate both of you. Brandy, I see the passion in your heart.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I do. My personal opinion is that you allow the hate to affect you mentally, which is never good, because social media is every single opinion flying at you all at once, and everyone has an opinion. So it's
absolutely. And we stand on facts, and we had to do that yesterday. You know, we have gone through roller coaster ride after roller coaster ride of rise and fall of the amounts and level of hatred that comes towards us. I'm sorry if I'm doing something that's triggering somebody.
And that's really the problem, is that you're apologizing for just doing what you believe is right in the first place.
Well, I mean, I get accused of being this horrible, terrible person all the time.
Are you terrible? Are you horrible?
No, I'm absolutely not. I have learned to stand on my truth, and
then it should just go right over your head, because if you don't,
normally it does. We've done really well. I was finally able to get Greg off of our page, and we have got, like, our page has soared in the past year, and the amount of growth and love and support that we have. You know, you want to take Cooper Kate, one monkey, and the amount of showering that has been bestowed upon that monkey from my platform, multiply that by 13, and that's what I have here. So you have the same for one monkey, that if I divided what I have for my 13, 2 weeks ago, 14 monkeys, my monkeys just have what they need. My chat made sure that her monkey had what she needed. You know, I don't understand it, and I'm not supposed to. And that is why I chose to walk away silently. And the very next afternoon, they were live. I think I waited 3 or 4 days to really snap back. And I'm not going to do it anymore. If you want to believe that I wanted to have sexual relationships with Mommy of the Bees, who did not shower the entire time she was here, believe it. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I love Mommy of the Bees very much. Her behavior is appalling. And I predict that Lauren probably sent her some sort of message that was really inappropriate or accusatory. And that's okay too. That's okay.
Well, thank you both for your time. I really enjoyed this. And you guys should request me to battle later at some point.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Greg, are you okay? I know is my chat upsetting you?
No, I'm not. I'm just sitting here, just like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm wore out. We had a long night last night, and then I had a long day today.